Andoni, it appears a deal for Bradley Barcola is close. How likely do you feel it is that it will get done? And will it be one winger or two wingers before the deadline?
As you know, no, we are trying to sign in that position, no? And also, as you know, we cannot talk about players that right now are not ours, but it's evident that we are trying to improve or try to fill that position because we don't have the numbers, and I hope we can have good news soon, but we are still not there.
I know we spoke about Cody Gakpo the other day, but whether you get one winger in or two wingers, what is the future for him? What guarantee can you give that he will be here beyond the deadline?
I can say what I said the past week, and even after the performance he had in the first game, I say the same again. No, he's playing very well for us. He's been very good since he came back from the World Cup after the holidays. Very good attitude, and I hope we can keep him at that level because I think he's been very influential in our games. Yes.
So he's not going?
No. You know, when the market is open, you know, we have a lot of players or almost 30 players. You cannot guarantee anything with anyone, and you never know who is going to arrive. I would like to know how the market finishes, and then we finish with this one, and this one. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with any of our players. I cannot guarantee anything, no? And you think I can smell what we are going to sign or what positions, but after experience shows you that there is an opportunity last day, and you think, okay, it improves us. Let's take it.
Let's talk about football and looking ahead to this game against Nottingham Forest. What balance do you feel you need to find between that attacking threat that you obviously have and keeping things tighter at the back?
Yeah, that's the key. You said the balance, no? Because you don't want to lose this, the offensive side, the fluidity, the arrivals with numbers, but obviously we were punished the other day, no? Especially in the first goal. I think we don't do a proper lockdown, and I think we've been definitely working on it. It's nothing new from like we've started this week. It's something that we always want to control, but there is a balance. We cannot go from one way where we send a lot of people forward to after, no, we keep everyone so we don't arrive with numbers, everything looks very stale, and I think it's a matter of identifying the situation. You cannot be with the joystick every time with the player. No, they smell, there are players that are very good at smelling, okay, there is real danger, I can take the risk of going. Now I think I have to stay, and this is also the quality of the player, no, who takes those decisions.
Andoni, you mentioned the potential of the Barcola deal. Last week you talked about the possibility of two players coming in, possibly even three. If you were able to put a number on your confidence level of getting not just Barcola but perhaps one more, where do you sit with that?
I don't know what's going to happen. You know, it's not. We have to be patient for another, even myself, for another 4 or 5 days, and then we will know, and then I will be comfortable the 1st of September, or the 2nd in this case, when they tell me, okay, this is who we are, this is the options we have, and then we can really start thinking, okay, then we might start thinking in the players in these positions. But right now we don't know. I have in my head, you know, what I want. We've been talking not now, since the beginning with the club, and they all know also what we want, and then it's a matter of closing the deals.
Personally, you've managed some huge occasions in Europe, of course. This weekend you'll step out at Anfield in the Premier League as Liverpool manager. Is that moment lost on you, and what kind of emotions spring to mind when you think about what might happen walking out of that tunnel?
No, it's definitely a special moment for me to play your first Premier League game at Anfield. I think I already felt it in pre-season, so when the competition starts, for me it's going to be I will be thinking on the game and the things that I need to think, but I think it's going to be emotional, and I think it has to be like this. No, it's a special place. I've had to fight a lot to arrive to this place, and I hope everything goes well and I can enjoy also the game.
And in terms of Nottingham Forest, what do you expect from an Oliver Glasner side who have suffered back-to-back defeats in their opening 2 competitive fixtures?
Yes, I think he has been very successful. Here we know him from the Premier League. We played against each other quite a lot. And you can see straight away the shape. They don't concede a lot of chances. The other day against Leeds was a very tight game. Not a lot of chances, and Leeds won because they scored a free kick in the 90th minute. But probably Forest even had more chances than Leeds until that moment. And we will have to earn every chance. They don't give you nothing for free. It's not. You have to be very good on the ball, be patient sometimes, because they defensively are very solid, are very good, and after they have also very good players up front, like every Premier League team, no? And we have to control those situations, especially as you said in your first questions, no, in the transitions, because they also have good threats in the counter.
Good luck this weekend.
Andoni, I know it's only the first league game last weekend, and you've spoken about the getting the balance right. In terms of defensive responsibility for your midfielders, and you said there the players can sense, they can sniff out what's happening. Have you needed to give them instructions after what happened last week to let them know they can't all go at once? And is there various trigger points for them to be able to see when one goes and when one sits? Because not everybody can go at the same time.
Yeah, obviously we cannot attack with everyone and then leave everyone at the back, no? But also there is a balance there. I don't want to tell Ryan Gravenberch don't carry the ball and don't arrive to the box, because I think we scored against Monaco. The goal we scored, I think, is 1-2. Is Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, then a pass to Alex, and he scores. And no one asks me, why are you leaving Ryan Gravenberch and Szoboszlai there on the edge, both together? No, they said, woof, incredible goal, lovely goal. You know, there is a balance there. There is a recognizing the situations from the others also, how we can balance those numbers with other positions, but sometimes you have to accept, and I don't want to keep all the time the players also like, I'm opposite half, I have to stay here, like one fullback goes, the other has to stay there. No, because one has gone, I have to stay here, depending the situation, depending where is your opposition. If your opposition is also very low, we have the numbers at the back, probably it's safer to go. If they are kind of leaving players in behind, we have to be careful. Recognizing those situations is the job we have to do now, yes.
And what steps do you think you can take to sort of allow the players and the players you've got and the talents they have to exert more control? Because if you look at the game last week statistically, it was all Liverpool. But if you look at the game and you were there and saw it, it didn't feel like that.
I felt we controlled the game, honestly, quite well the other day. Obviously, you concede 2 transitions, and you can tell me, no, but you concede, it's true. But I think we had meaningful possession. Sometimes you have possession. I felt like we were quite direct in our attack. We stayed most of our games very far. And I was feeling during the game, sometimes you feel, I was always feeling we are closer of scoring than Newcastle are during most part of the games, no? But it's true that you don't win, you draw 2-2, and you cannot change this. But I felt we did a lot of good things the first game.
Thank you.
Mark? Andy. Sorry to ask about individual players again, but no Chiesa or Elliott in last week's squad. They've obviously not played a lot of football over the last year. How do you view their futures?
Are different circumstances. Fede is not available. He felt the game against Como. He felt something at the back, and it's a small muscle injury, and he's not available. And I think with Harvey, with Chambers, with some of the players that I decide, because I can only choose 20 to leave them out, I think it's a matter of finding the balance on the bench, no? And in Harvey's case, I think he's trying, he's improving every week, he's improving, but I prefer other options, no? Probably I was in doubt with James McConnell. in terms of getting into the squad, and I decided to put James in the squad, but we never know. It's another new week, new chances for everyone, and they have to keep that mentality.
Andoni, you obviously strengthening in those wide areas has been the priority all summer. Is that sort of the extent of the business you expect to do, or are there other areas of the squad that you ideally would like to address before the window closes?
That's the question mark is what you say, ideally. Ideally is the magic word, no? At the end is there are certain things that you can do, certain things that we don't know if we can do. But it's true that the priority has been strength in the wide areas. Still, we have 4 or 5 days. I'm sure if we can improve other areas, we will. But I don't know how the market is going to finish, so I cannot tell you. I have to be patient, the same as you. I want to know. Believe me, it's very uncomfortable for me because you are dealing with uncertainties all the time. But we have to wait 4 or 5 days, and then we will know what we have and make like proper plans. Yes.
Hi, Andoni. I wanted to ask you, in relation to the issues you had in midfield against Newcastle, have you been slightly surprised by the reaction to it? Because it is very early on in your tenure, and there seems to be quite an extreme reaction of people definitively sure that this configuration with these players can't work. Have you been surprised by that?
Not surprised. I expected when I came here, that everything is going to be magnified and for the good and for the bad, and I think I started to understand everything that happens, but it's just one game where I think we did a lot of very good things. Even those players in the midfield, they did very good things. There are definitely things that we need to improve, like we talked about the goals we conceded. But what I have no doubt that they are all top players, very good players. And now it's a matter of myself, my coaching staff, the players, how we can maximize the potential, the level of the players we have there in the midfield, because you analyze one by one and they are all very, very good players.
And are you surprised also with the focus on the 2 midfielders? Because essentially it's a system that's going to require all 11 players to kind of get used to it.
Yeah, but it's football. At the end, we go to the goals always. If you make the same mistake, exactly the same mistake, but Elanga doesn't score that goal, we would be talking about, I don't know, if we consider set play, about set plays. Because now the set plays and this. So when you concede 2 goals because of the transition, it's easy and it's normal, and I understand. We have to talk about the defensive transitions. I think we improved during the game, even in that aspect. I think second half we were much, much better in terms of leaving the numbers, the proper players behind, and I think the first goal probably is more to blame than the second one in terms of how we position when we lose the ball, and I hope we can continue, and then we speak less about these problems. There will be something else. There we will be talking about something else, but I understand it's the first game of the season. We don't win because of these mistakes, and we are talking about these defensive transitions, so it's normal.
Andoni, just if 1 and 2 attacking players come in, as you mentioned, would you be satisfied with the squad depth come September 1st?
Yes, I didn't get the first.
Sorry, I think you were saying earlier about why the attacking players and that being a priority. If 1 comes in terms of Bradley and maybe a second comes in, would you be satisfied with the squad depth on September 1st?
It will depend on the rest of the positions, on what we sign in the rest of the position, who is leading in the rest of the position. I think you have to be looking at the overall picture. It's not just in this position on the other one. I think we know from the beginning, I think, our demands. I think first day I arrived here, I told you a little bit, is the wingers, because we lost especially Mo Salah from past season, and then tricky situations with the players that we have in long-term injuries, that we are probably down a player there in some positions, and those have been our main issues. But if we can improve in other areas also, we will.
So,
Hi Andoni, how impressed were you with Jeremy Jacquet's Premier League debut last week? And how do you see his partnership with Virgil van Dijk developing this season?
I think he played very well, considering it's his first game. Also basically 45 minutes of pre-season. It's true that he finished tired. We had to sub him because I was feeling last 5 minutes on the pitch he was tired, and you can feel, especially with centre backs. But he's been very confident on the ball, good without the ball, and he's very young, new signing. For sure he will make some mistakes, we will have to accept this, but he's performing for me and training very well.
thank you. Did the break on?